O the people of this house. And these are the words of salam as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That is the complete salam. As I said in the very beginning, the complete salam is to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But if someone just said assalam, that's enough, that's fine as well. If someone just said salam, or assalamu alaikum, or assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, or assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, all are permissible. But the scholars say that the end of salam is this, barakatuh. To add something to this is wrong. Once Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu was sitting, and a guy came in, and he was all excited and full of enthusiasm. As he entered, he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa maghfiratuhu wa salawatuhu. And Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he scolded him. Stop! What are you doing? How you keep adding these things to salam? The salam ends at wa barakatuh. If you start adding things, there is no end to it. So the scholars they state that it is makruh. It is disliked to add anything after wa barakatuh. That's it. If you want to say the perfect salam, the complete salam, it is assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Anything that will be added after that will be wrong. And once a man was saying from outside to Maymuna radiallahu anha, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Assalamu alaikum ahl al-bayt wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa maghfiratuhu wa ridwanuhu wa salawatuhu. She said from inside, that's it. What are you doing? Salam ends at wa barakatuh. After that, whatever you did something wrong. You have to stop at wa barakatuh. And likewise, in response as well, you say wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You do not add anything after that. So this is where Allah has ended the salam. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And when we end the prayer, the salam at the end of the prayer ends at wa rahmatullah. It does not even go after rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, not wa barakatuh. Because the Prophet ﷺ never said it at the end of the prayer. فَلَمَّا ذَهَبَ عَنْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ الرَّوْعُ وَجَاءَتْ الْبُشْرَى يُجَادِلُنَا فِي قَوْمِ لُوطٍ. And when the fear, the fright had left Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the good news had reached him, he began to argue with us concerning the people of Luut. He started arguing with the angels about the people of Luut alayhi salam, because as you just learned, that these angels, they told Ibrahim alayhi salam that we have come to deliver adhab of Allah to the people of Luut alayhi salam. Their time has come. They will be destroyed tonight. The end of their life has come. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he became really concerned about all these people, because it's a whole nation that is going to be destroyed. And I'll give you the number. You know how many people they were, according to one report that I read? Those people were 4 million people. Not 4,000 or 400,000. 4 million people living in those towns that I will mention later in the story of Luut alayhi salam. So Ibrahim alayhi salam became concerned. First of all, his own nephew is in that town, Luut alayhi salam. And then the family of Luut alayhi salam is in that town as well. And then he was thinking that maybe if they're given more time, maybe they will repent to Allah and Allah will save them. So he started arguing with the angels. What was the argument that he was having with the angels? He said to the angels, okay, so what if there are some people who are Muslim? Will you still destroy them? Will you still kill all of them? The angel said no. So then he said, okay, what if there are 100 people? Will you still destroy them? What if there are 100 believers? You will destroy the whole nation? They said no. And then he said, okay, what if there are 50 people? Will you destroy them? He said, the angel said no. He said, okay, what if there are 30 believers in that whole nation? Will you still destroy them? They said no. Then he said, what if there are 10 people? They said no. He said, what if there are 5 people? They said no. And then he came down to, he said, what if there's one believer in that whole nation? Will you still destroy them? They said no. And that's when Ibrahim a.s. said, oh, inna fiha Luut. There's Luut a.s. He's the believer. If you don't believe in anybody else, there's Luut a.s. who's the believer. So don't destroy them. So that was the argument that Ibrahim a.s. had with the angels about the people of Luut a.s. Yujadiluna fi qawmi Luut. Look, the kind-heartedness, the tenderness in the heart of Ibrahim a.s. He's arguing on behalf of the people of Luut a.s. with the angels, because he wants to save them. He does not want them destroyed. If it was anybody else who would say, yes, go ahead and destroy these people tonight. Don't give them any more chances. Enough is enough. Yet, Trump. And Ibrahim a.s., he is advocating for them. He is arguing with the angels who came to destroy them that don't destroy them. He's giving them reasons, logical reasons. Don't do it. If you, what if this? What if this? What if this? What if that? And then angels lost in the argument. That's the truth. Angels could not win the argument with Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Allah says, Inna Ibrahim lahalimun awwahum munib. Indeed, Ibrahim was forbearing, grieving, and frequently returning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all times. So, when the angels could not win in the argument, they said, Ya Ibrahim, a'rid an hada. Oh Ibrahim, give up this plea. Just give up on this. We're not going to change it. We can't. It is not in our power. We can't change it. We're not going to change it. إِنَّهُ قَدْ جَاءَ أَمْرُ رَبِّكَ. Indeed, the command of your Lord has come. That is the decision of Allah. That is the command of Allah. We have no power to change it. Your argument makes sense, but we do not have the authority to change the command of Allah. وَإِنَّهُمْ آتِيهِمْ عَذَابٌ غَيْرُ مَرْدُودٌ. And indeed, there will reach them a punishment that cannot be returned, that cannot be repelled. The adab of Allah is going to come to them because it has already been decreed, it has already been decided, it has already been issued, and the adab of Allah will not be turned away from them. إِنَّهُمْ آتِيهِمْ عَذَابٌ غَيْرُ مَرْدُودٌ وَلَمَّا جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا لُوطًا سِيءَ بِهِمْ وَضَاقَ بِهِمْ ذَرْعًا وَقَالَ هَذَا يَوْمٌ عَصِيبٌ. And when our messengers, the angels, came to Luut alayhi salam, he was anguished for them and felt for them great discomfort. And he said, this is a difficult day. This is a hard day today. هَذَا يَوْمٌ عَصِيبٌ. This is a very challenging day, very difficult day. Because these angels, when they appeared to Luut alayhi salam, they appeared in forms of very handsome young men. And the biggest problem that the people of Luut alayhi salam had, the biggest disease that they had, was that they were homosexual. So they were very attracted to good-looking men. And these angels, they purposely entered the city in that form. They were purposely appearing in that form to create that environment where the challenge would be there. So when they came to the house of Luut alayhi salam, Luut alayhi salam saw them. He immediately brought them inside and closed the door. But inside his heart, he felt uncomfortable and he felt anguished for them, for their safety. Because he knew that sooner or later his people will find out that my guests are very handsome and they're here and they will try to attack them. and they will try to invade my house, and they will try to disgrace my guests. And if, according to the customs of those times, if the guest is disgraced, it is considered a shame for the host. So it would be a shame for Luut alayhi salam if his guests are not protected and if his guests are disgraced. So Luut alayhi salam felt in his heart the weakness that he had, the physical weakness, because there was no one to support him. The whole nation, as I said, 4 million people, all of them are against Luut alayhi salam. Luut alayhi salam every day would tell them, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And it is mentioned in some reports that the people of Luut alayhi salam were the worst people on the face of this earth. They had all the evil possible in them, and they had no good. No good that can be pulled out of these people. There was no good in that entire nation. All the evil existed in them. And Luut alayhi salam was the only one and his family. There was no one else to support him. There was no one else to side him. And another fact, Luut alayhi salam came to this nation from outside. So he was an outsider. He was never a native from this nation. He was not born here. He did not grow up here. He came from outside. He was always a foreigner. So he never had a tribe here. He never had a family here. He never had any system of support to support him in these moments. At least if you are in your own tribe, your tribe will be there for you when you need them. As is the case with the families, that if you are in trouble, your family will be the one to come and support you and save you. Luut alayhi salam had no family. Only his daughters were there. That's it. So he said that this is a difficult day today. وَجَاءَهُ قَوْمُهُ يُهْرَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ وَمِنْ قَبْلُ كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. And his people came hastening to him. And before this day, they had been doing all the evil deeds. قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ هَؤُلَاءِ بَنَاتِي. So they found out, it's like they smelled it. So they came rushing to the house of Luut alayhi salam, and they now started knocking on the door of Luut alayhi salam. Luut alayhi salam opened the door and he said to them, Ya qawm, ha'ula'i banati hunna atharu lakum. O my people, O my nation, these are my daughters. And he was referring to the girls in that nation, in that qawm, that all these girls that Allah has created, they are the legitimate pair for you, legitimate mate for you. So marry them and they will be halal for you. But what you are doing and what you are trying to do is wrong, is haram. Hunna atharu lakum. They are purer for you. Fattaqullah. So fear Allah. وَلَا تُخْزُونِ فِي ضَيْفِي. And do not disgrace me concerning my guests. أَلَيْسَ مِنْكُمْ رَجُلٌ رَشِيدٌ. Is there not among you a man of reason? Isn't there any wise man among you who can understand this and convince people to stay away, back off? قَالُوا لَقَدْ عَلِمْتَ مَا لَنَا فِي بَنَاتِكَ مِنْ حَقٍّ. They said, you know very well that we have no interest in your daughters. We have nothing, no claim concerning your daughters. We do not want them. We're not interested in them. And that is not our choice. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَعْلَمُ مَا نُرِيدُ. And you know very well what we want, what we desire. So get away from from here. Get out of here so we can do what we want to do. At that point, he uttered these words. قال لو أن لي بكم قوة أو آوي إلى ركن شديد. Luut alayhi salam said, if only I had against you some power, or could take refuge in a strong support. So he felt the absence of family at that time. He felt that if there was a tribe that he belonged to, he would take some some strength from that tribe, and he would protect his guests, he would protect his family. But he had no tribe, he had no family other than his daughters there, and nobody else was there to support him. So he felt the powerlessness at that moment. He felt the weakness at that moment. And he said, if only I had against you some power or could take refuge in a strong support, I would be in so much comfort, so much better today. And these words, they were taken as a statement away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in one hadith, Rahimallahu akhi Luut. May Allah have mercy on my brother Luut alayhi salam. قَدْ كَانَ يَأْوِي إِلَى رُكْنٍ شَدِيدٍ. Because he said that he wished he had some support in the family. If he had said that he wished he had the support of Allah, Allah's support would be there, right there. He should have used better words. Instead of saying that I wish I had family support, I had tribal support, I had support from the community. Instead of saying that, he should have said, I wish I had Allah's support. So the Prophet ﷺ said that it was a poor choice of words. According to his statement, we learned that it was a poor choice of words. So when you need the help, say, I need Allah's help. I wish Allah's help was with me. I wish Allah's support was with me. Everyone else's support doesn't matter. It is Allah's support that matters. قَالُوا يَا لُوتُ إِنَّا رُسُلُ رَبِّكَ لَن يَصِلُوا إِلَيْكَ. At that time, when the angels realized how powerless Luut alayhi salam is feeling for himself, at that moment, they came forward and they said to Luut alayhi salam, O Luut, we are the messengers of your Lord. That's when they opened up and they clarified that we're not human beings as you are thinking. So don't worry about our safety. We are angels. We're sent by your Lord. لَن يَصِلُوا إِلَيْكَ. So these people will never be able to reach you to harm you. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ وَلَا يَلْتَفِتْ مِنْكُمْ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا امْرَأَتَكَ. So set out with your family during a portion of the night, and let not any among you look back. No one should from your caravan look back what's going on, except your wife. Your wife will. She will look back, and that is determined. إِنَّهُ مُصِيبُهَا مَا أَصَابَهُمْ. Indeed, she will be struck by that which strikes them. إِنَّ مَوْعِدَهُمُ الصُّبْحِ. Indeed, their appointment is for the morning. Their time of destruction is the morning time. أَلَيْسَ الصُّبْحُ بِقَرِيبٍ. Is morning not near? Isn't it nearby? It's like very little time is left till morning, and when morning comes, Allah will destroy it all. Will destroy all of them. So this was the message that they delivered to Luut alayhi salam, that we have come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our mission is to destroy these people. The time has come for these people to be destroyed. We want you to leave this town before that adab of Allah comes. And that is the message that was delivered to Luut alayhi salam. Leave this town. Go as far away from these towns as possible, that you should not even be able to look back to see these towns. And when you are going, go fast and don't look back. Because if you look back, if anyone looks back, they will become part of that. So they said your wife will be the one who will be looking back, and she will become part of them. She will also be destroyed with them. And that's what happened. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا جَعَلْنَا عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا. So when our command came, we made the highest part of the city its lowest. وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهَا حِجَارَةً مِّن سِجِّيلٍ مَّنْضُودٍ. And we rained upon them stones of layered hard clay. مُسَوَّمَةً عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ. Which were marked from your Lord. وَمَا هِيَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ بِبَعِيدٍ. And Allah's punishment is not from the wrongdoers very far. Or these towns are not very far from the wrongdoers. So these people, as I said, they lived about 80 miles from where Ibrahim alayhi salam was living. Ibrahim alayhi salam was living in Nablus, which is near the West Bank in Ramallah. And the towns in which these people live, there are two famous towns that we know. One was called Sodom, and the other one is called Gomorrah. And from the name Sodom, the word came Sodom. Sadum. In Arabic, it's called Sadum. And the other word Gomorrah, the town of Gomorrah in Arabic is called Amura. So Sadum and Amura, these were the two major towns in that area. But there were 3 other towns. And according to another report, there were 5 other towns. So in total, there were 7 towns. And the total population of these 7 towns or 5 towns was 4 million people. And they all lived near those mountains that are today next to what we call the Dead Sea. Dead Sea is also known as Bahr Luut, the Sea of Luut alayhi salam. So the adab that came to them, that we learned from the ayat of the Quran, from the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Jibreel alayhi salam, it was the worst kind of punishment that was delivered to these people because of their actions, what they have done in their entire life. There was no believer among them. So when Jibreel alayhi salam came to destroy them with other angels, Jibreel alayhi salam, he cut that part of the earth, and he took it up on his wing, and he lifted it very, very high. According to one report, it was so high that the angels in the heaven, they were able to hear the screams of these people. That's how high Jibreel alayhi salam took them. And then he turned them upside down and threw them. And when that same part of the land came back to in its place, it was upside down. That's why Allah says, فَلَمَّا جَعَلْنَا عَالِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا. We turned the upside down. We turned the highest part into the lowest part. So when it came back to that same place, it went 400 meters deep. And around that area, the new body of water came into existence, which is now known as the Dead Sea. And I have heard personally as well, people near those towns who have been living there for centuries, even before Islam, they have been hearing from generations to generations that there was a time when there was no water here. And then the water was formed as that part of the land went so deep, 400 meters deep, which is very, very deep. And that is today the lowest part on earth today. The lowest point on earth is that where these people were once lived. And some archaeological discoveries have also proved other evidences about the living styles of these people. They were very prosperous people. They were not poor, but that prosperity led them to do all the sins, all the evils that they committed in their lives. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them, and the other adab of Allah that came to them was the baked stones that were showered upon them, that came in form of rains, and they killed all of them. Some say they were marked. They have white markings on black stones, or black markings on white stones. But those stones were the ones that came down as a rain, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed all of them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. And the lessons that we learn from these people is that the reasons for which they were destroyed, the actions for which they were punished, those are the actions that other people should avoid, that other people should not indulge in and stay away from. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Any questions?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Tim.
Huh?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes. 10 good deeds, yes.
Rahmatullahi
20,
barakatuh.
30.
And assalamu alaikum 10 is a four you together.
Huh? No, assalamu alaikum is 10, wa rahmatullahi is 20, and wa barakatuh is 30. Yeah.
10, 10, 10.
Yes, 10, 10, 10.
It's not 10, 20, 30.
No, no, no.
Is there a four?
No, no, total 30, maximum.
So, not the barakatuh.
Wa barakatuh is 30.
Rahmatullah. No.
Wa rahmatullah is, so assalamu alaikum 10, wa rahmatullah 10, and wa barakatuh 10. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد افضل صلواتك اللهم انا نسالك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم انا نسالك العفو والعافيه والمعافاه الدائمه في الدين والدنيا والاخره اللهم حبب الينا الايمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره الينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين اللهم قنا عذابك اللهم قنا عذابك اللهم قنا عذابك في الدنيا والاخره ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى اله واصحابه اجمعين برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. جزاكم.
One thing, these days we have the telephone and all that. When the caller is the one who says supposed to say that, Assalamu alaikum. Because he is the one who is.
Yes, the caller should be the one to say assalamu alaikum, and the receiver should be the one to say wa alaikum assalam.
No sabah there.
Huh?
No sabah there.
No, you can do that afterwards.